3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Chairman, for the diligent work on the Budget Committee and the leadership you've shown there. Americans know this country was built on a strong work ethic. This budget provides a framework to create work requirements for able-bodied, working-age adults receiving federal benefits. Some may ask, why work requirements? In 1996, President Clinton, a fellow Arkansan from my hometown of Hot Springs, but from across the aisle, said that today we are taking an historic chance to make welfare what it is meant to be, a second chance, not a way of life. The goal of workforce requirements on able-bodied working-age adults is simply to give Americans a hand up, not a handout. Mr. Speaker, we should be concerned about the negative effects these federal benefit programs are having on our American work ethic when we review the data. The maximum an individual can earn and still receive government assistance under some programs, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, is only $1,000. The Cato Institute reports that in 39 states, individuals can make more on government assistance than by working an $8 job. In 6 states, government benefits pay more than a $12 per hour job. And in 8 states, government assistance pays more than the average salary of an American teacher. In my home state, where Medicaid expansion was accepted, 40% of the able-bodied working-age adults receiving 100% funded Medicaid have zero income. By adding workforce requirements for able-bodied working-age adults, in the Medicaid population alone, this budget establishes a blueprint for work requirements that will result in savings by 2022 of up to $376 billion federally, with an additional $170 billion saved at the state level. President Franklin Roosevelt made clear during a 1935 address to Congress that these programs were not intended to be an entitlement, but a temporary aid to those in need. He said the lessons of history, confirmed by the evidence immediately before me, show conclusively that continued dependence upon relief induces a spiritual and moral disintegration fundamentally destructive to the national fiber. To dole out relief in this way is to administer a narcotic, a subtle destroyer of the human spirit. It is inimical to the dictates of sound policy. It is in violation of the traditions of America. Work must be found for able-bodied but destitute workers. The principles President Clinton and President Roosevelt before him promoted are more important now than ever before, as we find ourselves in a fiscal crisis created by dependence and entitlement. President Clinton reminded us in 1996 that this is not the end of welfare reform. This is the beginning, and we all have to assume responsibility.
Gentleman's recognized.
This budget incentivizes work, not dependence. This budget reduces spending growth instead of growing government. This budget moves us in the right direction. I encourage my friends on both sides of the aisle to assume responsibility by voting for this balanced budget for a stronger working America.